welcome, welcome anybody. Carl, I see Carl made it. I'm just out here today, guys. I hadn't been able to be out in the shop as much as I'd like to be because I've been nursing this. Hang on, let me get my other camera on. All right, so guys, it's been a rough week around here. So I hadn't done a lot of content. Hadn't really been able to be out in the shop as much as I'd like. This back problem has went from bad to worse. But I've been dying to kind of mess with this machine and do some more work with it. I've had a lot of people message me, ask me questions about the WeCreate, and it's like right over my shoulder there. You really can't see it from here, but and the software, the capabilities, and I did a quick video on it the other day. That was right as my back really started giving me a hard time, so I didn't get to do a whole lot, but so I kind of want to just, I'm just playing with the machine today, guys. And I figured instead of trying to make a video, because I really don't feel like going through all the camera movements and everything around, I figured I'd just let you guys watch. Like I said, I apologize if you hear me grunting, moaning, rubbing my back. I do have an ice pack on my back right now strapped to me. That seems to be the only way I can actually get out here in the shop and work, which mostly sitting behind a computer. But anyway, guys, enough of that. So if you're just now getting here, hadn't missed anything. I was just trying to bring everybody up to speed. This is the software that WeCreat has, and I'm going to turn my camera around here so y'all can see the screen. So let me see if I can do both. All right, so there we go. Hopefully that little screen there won't be in the way of anything. This is the Make It software that WeCreat came out with, and guys, a lot of you have already responded to my other video and said that it looks a lot like Xtool software, and I would definitely agree with you. It does look a lot like it. The layout is very similar. A lot of the tools are very similar, such as the group array. You have basic, shapes. You got lines, rectangle, circle, text path, which text path is pretty cool because you can, well, never mind the capitalization, but you can actually stretch a line and it will make the text follow that line. So that's kind of cool. I'm terrible at freehand and stuff, so that's not something I'm going to be using a whole lot of. I would rather just bend it, but I'm assuming you could do that as well with using the line tool or the circle tool. Haven't really played around with that a whole lot. But anyway, guys, the camera is built into the machine, does a really good job so far. If you have questions, feel free to put them up there. I'm trying to watch the top screen so I can see those. But if I miss them, guys, I'll go back. But if you have any questions, feel free. So the machine basically, when you go in and you put a square or circle or whatever in the workspace, you have these different settings over here. You've got engrave, which I wish they would change that to line. And I've told, I've mentioned this a couple times because that's going to mess people up. It needs to be a line, fill, and cut, in my opinion. But so you're going to want to put that on cut if you want to cut it, of course. And as far as the material goes, when you first get in the workspace, you can click on the workspace and it'll ask you what material you have. And I have went in and added some of my own materials to it. So this is the 4.5 Luon. So once I click that, anything that I do in the workspace, it should automatically go to that material. And you can see it's got it set to 100% power at 6 millimeters a second. It'll actually cut it a little faster than that, but that's plenty fast enough, and it makes sure I got nice clean cuts. So once you set that, then you can come in. You do have layers. I haven't used the layers as much. We might try to play around with that a little bit today. So you can also do layers here. So I could name this top one here. Let's see which one. Well, layer 2, layer 1. So that could be my cut layer, but I could have layer 2, and I could come in here and put a circle, and we'll make that a fill. And I wish they would let you change the colors, and if I haven't found that yet. But one thing too is by default it's going to be set to unidirectional scanning. If you want it to go bi-directional, you have to tell it to. So you could actually have 2 layers, so that if you did want to, I guess, turn one off or hide it or whatever, you could. But mostly I just play around with the one layers so far. But anyway, we'll go ahead and show you what this thing will do as far as cutting. So there's the square, and I've got it assigned to cut. You get a little autofocus button right here, and what it does, guys, is the machine will move over, and then it moves down to focus. It doesn't use a movable Z-axis per se. The whole top of the machine moves down. So it's going to go over there. It's going to find that, and it does it apparently with some type of sensors. It's going to find the focus, and then once it does, it'll actually update the view here, and you'll be ready to go. And so, not 100% sure what enhanced cutting does. It does have air assist. Air assist is on, so it does a pretty good job just that way. So we're gonna hit the start button. It gives you this little cue, which yes is a lot like some of the other softwares, and then you have to tell it to send. This is the part that kind of irritates me, especially sometimes for my right now with my back giving me problems. So then you gotta hit the button. Once you hit the button, it's gonna send the cut over there to the machine, and it will do its thing. It doesn't normally take this long on the processing. I redid the Wi-Fi connection. I hope I didn't mess it up. I did go in and assign it a static IP address. So there we go. Okay, that's different. It may not be liking my new IP, my new Wi-Fi settings. Okay, let's see what happens if I push the button again. All right, guys, we obviously have a problem here, Houston. So I'm going to cancel that. Let me go ahead and connect it USB just to make sure. I'm going to restart the software. I was messing with the wireless. I moved some stuff around in the shop today, so I changed the wireless. Maybe I messed it up. I did assign it a static IP. I thought that would be helpful, but maybe it's just not liking it today. All right, guys, the software's been a little problematic. Let me power cycle it. Yeah, I think the software still needs some tweaking, personally. And see if I got it working. I haven't tried using Lightburn with it. They claim that it can, but I haven't done that yet. So it's showing it on USB this time. We're just going to run with USB because Wi-Fi is being weird today. So back to where I was at. Let me put me a little cut in here. Change the material to my 4.5. All right, we'll set this to a cut and send it. All right, that's more like it. Yeah, it's not, apparently the Wi-Fi is not cooperating with it. I do have a 5.8 gigahertz network out here as opposed to a 2.4. It may be more suitable for a 2.4 gigahertz network. What's up, Tammy from Tennessee? Hello, Rob from Texas. Peter, I guess that's how you say that. Peter. Yeah. What's up, Jack? Playing around with this new WeCreat, which is a pretty cool machine. I still, they've got a little work to do, just like some of the other machines, guys. They've got a little work to do on their software, I think, but I like a lot of the options it has. As you can see, there's the cut, there's the camera alignment. So you're not knocking them, but I think they kind of embellish the camera accuracy just a little. It does work, but it's not as accurate as what you would like for it to be sometimes. And just to show you how far off it is, I'm gonna lay a ruler in there and we'll recapture. All right, this will give you guys a little better look at exactly how far off it is. It's not bad, it's not terrible, but there's a ruler, there's the cut, and I will say the quality of the camera. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the quality of the camera as far as you can see stuff. And the cool thing is too, you can actually come in here. If I wanted to make myself a ruler, guys, I could literally come in here, check that, and now I've got this ruler here. Filters, sketch, and I could go in and manipulate this and copy it. So I like that. I think the more work they put into the software, I think the better it'll be. But let me get my ruler out of there before I engrave it again. You see, I already have once. And then once you get your bed space cleared back out, and I'll show you real quick how to do a test grid with this. It's very similar to other softwares. You come in, you just create yourself a little box right here, guys. I'll set this one for 10 by 10. Once you create that box, you just click on the box, go up here to array, and down at the bottom there's a material testing array. I'm gonna leave this one whatever its default. We'll change the speeds to 20, minimum of, let's say 6, because I know it cuts at 6. Power minimum of 80, and hit confirm. All right, so I'm not gonna rename this because it's just a lot of trouble. But we're gonna run this as a 3mm bash wood test just to show you how the test works. So once you get it set up, you just got to go over here and hit start, and it's going to do the same thing. It's going to pop up on the screen, kind of shows you the preview, and then you hit send. Once you hit send, you got to hit that button. That's not something you want to do when you got a bad back. All right, so it's cutting the test pattern, guys. I'm gonna cheat. I got me a stick, so I can cheat and hit that button from over here. I need to get me like a little relay put on it, where I can just hit a button over here that'll do it. What's up, Michael? We're playing around with a WeCreat. I fixed to show y'all some cool features it has. It has batch capability. I haven't played with it a lot, but we're gonna try it out, see if it works. So y'all will know if it works same time I do, because we're gonna try it in just a second. I've got some test pieces and I've got some ornaments I'm gonna do. Now let me get you back to the screen so you can see the software. But it takes it a few minutes. It's not a real speed demon, but I'll show you from over top where you can see what's doing. Michael, it's very different from Lightburn. It has a lot of tools. The closest software I could relate to it is going to be XCS. It's a spitting image of XCS. It has a lot of the same capabilities. A lot of the icons are very similar to the language. I mean, I don't know if the framework for XCS was like open source or something, and somebody else is using the same framework, but it looks a lot like XCS. Uh, and it works. I do think there's some room for improvement. I would love to see them add a frame option. You know, not that the camera may be good for 90% of the jobs that you do, especially if you're cutting and engraving on the same piece. I wouldn't worry about whether the camera's off 5 millimeters or not, as long as it helps you get on the material, so you're not just, you know, constantly missing the material. But if you're trying to do those items that are already cut and you're just wanting to engrave it, I think that's where the capability of being able to frame would be a good thing to have. I got to move my ice pack, guys. That one spot's gotten awfully cold back there. So I do got me a new chair coming. It was supposed to be here yesterday, but Amazon's messed me up. So if you see me squirming, it's because this wooden seat's not the most comfortable. But yeah, we'll show you some more stuff in the software, but it's kind of, until it gets through processing, guys, this is what you get on the screen right here. That is, that's the only thing. I like the fact that in Lightburn, I could actually be sitting here, you know, doing something different. I haven't tried opening up a different instance of the software to work in. I don't know that that would be possible, but as you can see, just to give you an idea, the guys that was asking about the software, you can still see the buttons. You've got the zoom here. You've got your selection tool, little pan tool that you can use to move everything. The only steps that are necessary, and we'll try to do a tumbler before we get off of here. The only steps that are necessary to go from laser flat to laser cylindrical is you have to click that button and take the slats out of the bottom, mount the chuck to the side of the machine, plug it in, and you're good to go. So, and it does a really good job on the tumblers. I'm actually impressed with the setup for tumblers. It rivals my enclosure Zilla setup now, because it does have a camera directly over the tumbler. It does raise up and down. It's got plenty of depth. You don't have to put legs on it. The chuck is well built, sturdy. It bolts to the machine, so there's no question about whether it's where it needs to be. It does have a little flex in the frame if you put something real heavy on there, but they give you that little roller wheel to use to kind of make sure it stays level. So as far as tumblers goes, it's a 20-watt diode that gives you really good clarity on tumblers and just enough power to do the job with. So I think if tumblers is one of those things you're into, I think this one is definitely a possibility. So let me get off. I don't want people to think I'm just like away from the controller here. I'm trying to yeah, the Niji video had a question about the air. Yes. Well, Michael, my big air compressor took a dive on me. I am currently running a little $99 I think it's a Porter cable compressor. I caught it on sale at Tractor Supply for 99 bucks. It's a little red pancake one. And that's what I'm running right now. And it'll actually output 150 PSI. And I'm running machines off of it. It's doing a pretty good job. Now, it's not quiet. So if you're going to have it in the house, that might be something you want to consider. But you could use any air pump that you wanted for the most part. But if you use one that's electric, you're going to have, instead of using the relay like I use for the air assist, they actually have a relay that you can wire to the machine, and it would turn the air pump on and turn the air pump off. And I've got the relay in a little box over there. It's a M7 relay, I think it is. And you could use, you know, a Comgrow, any kind of little, you know, laser air compressor you wanted if you use that, because it would power the compressor on and power the compressor off. You wouldn't necessarily have to have the valve. So there's more than one way of going about setting up air assist on that Niji. D-Red, hey, I'm glad to check them out, Red. I enjoy the testing them out. Oh, did you drop a video, Steve? I've been in here cleaning. As you can tell, it's actually a little cleaner. I'm limited. This is the first day I've been able to get out in the shop. I've been stuck in the house all week. nursing this back, and I just decided to take a couple of extra Advil today and come out here and do something because I'm going crazy in the house. Uh, I do not have any jean fabric out here. I don't even know if I got any old jeans I could do it with. I usually throw those away when they get to where I don't use them. Uh, yeah, I should have probably not set that to an engrave. That's taking a minute. It's only 8.5%. Okay, we're gonna forego the we're gonna forego this engrave, guys. That is taking way too long. Whew. Let me refresh, see what it looks like, see how much it got done. I should have made those like 3mm little circles. Uh-oh. Let me get the head out of the way. So I got a few of them done. But it does a really good job. I have already done my testing. Oh, did that cut all the way through there? That was a little hot for an engraved test, guys. It was a little hot. But I should have paid more attention when I was laying that out. But yeah, the machine, like I said, here we go. Let's do some images and stuff. That's what I want to do. The AI, I showed you guys that the other day. Image. They have like a little art gallery that you can use here. Not really something that I use a lot of. The upload button, it seems to be the best in my opinion for any kind of pictures that you want to upload. Let me see. I got some stuff in here that I've been messing with. Laser files. Let's do this one. All right, so shrink this down because we're not going to sit here all day waiting on it to finish. I'm going to set that to a fill and engrave. That's going to set it to 100% power, 120% output. And guys, like I said, I've already did my power tests and stuff when I first got the machine, and I've updated all the settings. So this setting should be correct. And then just hit start button. It's going to give you a little preview and send it. And then you got to hit that button. Hang on. Let me get my stick. Jack, you ought to have realized it when it started getting frosty in there and you couldn't see what you was doing. I do that sometimes. I'll be sitting here working and smoke will start coming out of the cracks in my enclosure. But Tammy, you said you have the X2 Pro 10 watt. I'm going to transition to a CO2. A CO2 is a game changer now. It's just you got to have the room to dedicate to it, and they can be a little more expensive if you get one that has all the features. That's the problem with, this is a 20 watt machine, but it has all of the features basically that you would get in a larger CO2. In this little machine, it's basically just a box. So, Steve, feel free to run me a couple of steaks over if you get a minute. I haven't really done a whole lot this week. I can really go for a nice thick steak. But I've been stuck in the house. I've been doing a lot of 3D printing and testing 3D printing and tweaking settings and upgrading my 3D printer because I just couldn't come out here. So I'm still kind of squirming on this seat. But it's either sit in a seat out here or sit in a seat in the house. I'd rather be out here. So it looks like our engrave is almost done. And I'll get it and let you look at it and see what it looks like. So any questions anybody has on the machine? That was kind of what I was thinking was if anybody had any questions, I could actually show you guys and not have to like hijack the whole live tonight and do nothing but this. What video did you put out, Steve? You got me wondering now. I didn't know you had one out. Steve, let's see what Steve put out here. Ah, decorative gift boxes. Oh, that's that. Yeah, that's cool. I have to watch that when I get through doing this while I'm resting my back again. All right, this is almost done, guys. So once it gets through processing, I do like the fact that this one makes it audible, and you'll hear it here in a second. You should. Once it gets through processing, it'll kind of like pop up and let you know. And then all you gotta do is go open it up, which I'm not gonna open it. I'm gonna keep screenshotting it to show you guys how close the camera is. Cause like I said, you know, a lot of people make a big deal out of the camera being a millimeter or two off. And to me, that's not a big deal. I mean, I don't expect them to be, I don't expect them to be perfect. Oh, I'm loving the 3D printing. Whoever that was that asked, I just moved my screen around. Loving the 3D printing. I've made all kind of little parts and tools and stuff. So, now Steve. Steve, I'm good. I'm sitting sideways on my little stool with my leg kicked out. But I had to get out of the house, man. Me and my wife were talking about it. We've been together for 30 years, and I asked her when was the if she had ever known of me, she looked back, and the most I've ever like felt bad, been hurt, whatever, and not come outside, hear that noise. I do like that because if you're doing something else, it'll let you know that it's done. And then on the screen, it'll pop up and it'll say complete. You just hit the button, and then I'm gonna refresh it right here. The fan will continue to run for a little while until it vacates the smoke and stuff out of the enclosure. But there's your placement versus real world. So it's not terrible, guys. Not terrible at all. So I need one of my Christmas ornament decorations here. So one thing that I was going to show you guys, let me set this up right quick. This is going to be cool. You're going to like it. All right, so the one thing that I haven't played with a lot with this machine, and we'll do it real quick here, is this machine has the capability, let me see if I can find a star. This machine has the capability, like I said, I haven't played with it a lot. That's a starfish. That's not what I want. Oh, how about a snowflake? Okay, so hang on, guys. Let me call in some help. Thought I had a little snowflake in here somewhere. There it is. All right. Get some Lightbird tips too. This is how you export a SVG. All my stuff's in Lightburn, so I have to go over there to grab files sometimes. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go to upload and bring my snowflake in. So the one thing that this thing will do, and let's hope it does it, is a little smart feel. And that's neat. That right there. I don't know if you saw that, but that is neat. So let me edit. Let me undo that. All right. It does. Apparently, it does them one at a time. So you got to hit the undo multiple times. So when you put the design on the one piece, get it where you want it, which is kind of hard to see with that yellow color. That's why I wish they'd let you change the colors, because some colors appear better to me. All you got to do once you do that is click on the design and hit Smart Fill, and it'll put them in the other ones. Now, It's not 100% accurate. I can tell you that. But it is cool. So what I'm going to do now, we'll run this at, we'll do this quick. I'm going to run these real quick on a line so that you guys can see where it puts them on the material. And this is as real as it gets. Not faking anything here. Now, the processing seems to be taking a while on this snowflake. I did this with a square and a circle, and it didn't take that long. So I'm not sure that the software is up to speed for my snowflake. I haven't cut any. I've cut some wood, Tammy, but I will be putting some acrylic in here in just a minute. I'm just playing around at the moment. I was going to show y'all this cool little process that it does with the batch, but it's been a little slow right now. I may just go back and put a square in there. I don't know if it has to process that graphic. I don't know what's going on in the software, but that design seems to have hung it up. I've only tested this with circles and squares. Yeah, it appears that this processing's hung up. That's the software is gonna have to be improved, in my opinion, because I know it's not my computer, and I don't have a cancel button. So that's another thing that I wish they would add a little cancel button or some way to cancel, because you really don't have anyway. So we just do it this way. But yeah, you'll if they get the bugs worked out of it, which I know other machines that have that capability, and I know in the beginning it was very problematic, and people complained about it a lot. So I figure this software is probably going to be the same way. So we'll do a 15. I'm just going to use a graphic circle because I've tested this with circles. I haven't tested it with graphics, and I think it's hanging up the software for some reason. Uh, but like I said, this is still technically pre-release software, and they've already updated it one time since I got the machine. So I put me a circle right there. I'm just gonna put it as an engrave, 100% power, 200% speed, 200 speed, and then I'm gonna hit the smart fill, and it moves them to all the different pieces. And like I said, I've done this, doing it with the circles, and it worked. So unless that update has broken it, this should work. Uh, my guess is when you hit the start button, it's having to calculate all the locations of the graphics because we didn't put them in there manually, and I don't know if I don't know what's going on in the back end of the software, but apparently it's having an issue. Uh, Unless they push out another update. I'm guessing I got the current software. Okay, looks like we're not going to be testing that today. It's not wanting to cooperate. Uh, it did work, and then they sent me an email and said they had a new software out, and I updated, and apparently the update was not good for that part of the functionality. But you get the idea. And if they get the bugs worked out, I will I'll let you know. But yeah, let's get some materials on there. Do some cutting. All right. I got some acrylic on there, and I do not have any idea uh, what the power settings are going to be for this acrylic. So I think what I'm going to do is just guess. It's a 20-watt diode. This is green acrylic. What if they got settings in here for acrylic? Let me see what they got. They got black acrylic. We'll go with that. All right, so I'm gonna do a little cut right there. They're saying 5 millimeters a second, 100% output. This is green, so well, let's see what happens. Go ahead and focus it. It's doing its thing back there. The screen gets a little boring when nothing's going on. All right, so got it focused, and so I'm just gonna go up here and hit the start button. And like I said, it's just gonna show you the little cut, and then I'm gonna cheat. Got him. Once it gets through, it's going to go all the way up and go back to home, and then I get the audible saying that it's done, and I get a pop-up saying complete. So I'm going to refresh the screen again just to see where the line is in relation to the camera. See if that cut. Looks kind of nasty in the camera. All right, the green is not going to cut with their black settings, guys. So we're going to have to play with that. Let me move my square to right there, and let me go in here and look at my reference material, my references. 20-watt power settings, acrylic green. 70 millimeters a second at 8 millimeters, 100%, 8 millimeters, 100% times 4. So that's what I'm going to set it at. I'm going to set it at 8 millimeters a second, 4 passes. That's 20-watt data from other machines. So we'll try that, see if that works better. Their black acrylic did not work. I think I hit it twice. Trying to use a stick. Send. Yeah, those buttons really annoy me. All right, let's see if my settings worked any better than their black acrylic settings. I think I did cut some black acrylic with it the other day, but I haven't cut any colored. This is green. Green's not the best color to be cutting out with a diode. We may have to just skip and go to a different color. All right, I did cut it. It's not a pretty cut, but this is some really thin green material, so. But it worked. I'm gonna go with black this time. Going with black, guys. So we'll update the overlay there. Now you can't even see the black. All right, so since this is black acrylic, I'm going to change. But well, it's going to do what I had. 5. Okay, 5 millimeters a second, number of passes is 1. That's what they had set for black acrylic. So we'll see if their settings works on this 3 millimeter black. Gotta keep my stick handy. Small tiles I get from sheets. Oh, I heard something fall inside the enclosure. I'm guessing that was a tiny piece of acrylic, what it sounded like. All right. Not going to be able to see the hole, I don't think. Yeah, let's just go check it out. All right, so 3 millimeter black, guys. Lighting is terrible. It worked. All right, so if you wanted to cut something out of 3 millimeter black, that is definitely doable. This is I'm not sure where this came from, but it's doing a really clean, good job on the 3 millimeter. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's smooth. Other colors, like I said, color acrylic with those, stay away from it unless you're doing, like red cuts pretty good usually. But stay away from green, anything that reflects blue, stay away from it. Now this is something else that I like to, these, I typically cut these with a CO2, and I'm kind of curious, it's kind of transparent, so I don't think this is going to cut it, but I want to just try it and see. This is basically like a stencil material. I really don't expect it to cut it. Uh-oh, got company, guys. Careful. Careful what you say. Yeah, I'm just goofing off of this machine. You can come hang out. I'm sure they won't mind. Does anybody mind if Brandy hangs out with us? All right, so I'm going to run this about the same speed. I really don't expect this to cut this material. My other diodes don't, but we're gonna test it. Because if it will, that would be awesome. Hey, you can be my button pusher.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Hello, Northern California. Hello from Missouri. Let's see if it cut this stuff. It's not transparent, but it's pretty close. It usually just melts with diodes.
I was gonna see if you need anything.
Yeah, I got cleaned up a little bit. Hey, you could go get me some like tea if you want to be a like total sweetheart about it.
Okay.
Save me some steps.
Okay.
All these people putting buttons on their machines is driving me nuts. All right, let's see if it cut it. No, it did not. It scarred it really good. It almost cut it in places. I could probably play with it and get it to cut it, but it did not cut. It did not cut all the way through. It's just kind of, you can see right there, it scarred it just a little bit. So let's get some material on there that's made for lasers, for diodes. All right. All right, I got some good material on there that we can engrave. Let's play around, see what we got. I don't think I've done, whoa. All right, so this is a painted wooden, a piece, this is a wooden ornament that I painted. And it's got gold, like rough gold paint on it. And the other one is a coaster. This is a cork coaster. So what I'm going to do is use my snowflake, because these are these are Christmas items, and I want to put the snowflake on here, which this is kind of a pain to align. I wonder if this auto. I wonder if I do just Nope, it's not going to detect the other shape. So I guess I'm going to have to upload again. I don't see. I wonder if I can Control C. Yes, you can Control C, Control V, but it will not. You have to move it. Okay, the software is kind of trying to get me to line it up with the other one, but I'm going to put it about right there. That looks good. So we'll see what this looks like. Material wise, I've got 2 different materials in here, so aluminum. I'm gonna go with aluminum card because this cork's gonna catch fire if I go too hot. So 29% power, 100%. Yeah, that ought to work. It should mark both of them. So we're gonna go with that and see what it does. All right.
There you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Button pushing stick. And I got some tea. Brad, short of the software glitches, I could see definitely with tumblers, I could see me using it. I'm not 100% sure that I might not wind up maybe using it at events and stuff because it's not really that big. It's not that heavy. You can see it sitting right there. The machine's probably like a 24 by 24 footprint. It would actually be pretty decent for events because people could, look over in there and see it. It comes with its own fan, its own air assist. I mean, so I could see me using it, possibly taking and mounting it on my portable table. I really don't know yet. It's going to depend. Long term, I like a lot of the things that the software does. I think that if for what it's intended to be a kind of buy it and use it type machine, I think it does a pretty decent job. The software still needs some work, but other than that, I mean, the output and all, it works great. I would like to see them add a frame option for it, to where, I could frame with it's got a red dot that shines, but you can't really, there's no frame. So all you can really do is set it to no output and try to burn it, but then you can't really tell where it's going. So I don't know. The software is going to need some work before it replaces any of my full-time machines, but I can see where somebody, especially somebody new to it that doesn't have a shop, this would be pretty handy. I went and bought myself a little cart today to put machines on, and it's just a roller cart. I bought it at Home Depot for like $150, and I think this would be one of those machines that you could put on a cart like that, have some storage down below. Well, guys, the camera was actually really, really, really close on the burn that time. So there's the, there's the burn, and there's the image. So let me go get the cork out of there and we'll see what it looks like. So this is the problem that I have. This is the only problem with being able to line stuff up. There are ways to overcome that. And the one way that I could think of to be able to do it would be to kind of basically make a jig with the machine real quick, and we'll kind of go over that real fast, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is going to be my approach if I did use this on jobs. This would be my approach to try to get the most accuracy I can out of the machine without having a without having a frame option. So let me get some material and I'll show you. All right, so what I would end up doing is take and put me some material in there. All right, so I know that that is a 4-inch coaster. I don't even know how many millimeters that is, guys, and I'm terrible at math, so give me a second. So what I'm going to do now is make this circle 100 millimeters. And I'm going to take this circle and put it in the work area. I'm going to put it over here as close as I can to the edge. Not too close, so if I do want to engrave in a minute, I can do so. And I'm going to change this over, of course, to my 4.5 millimeter material. Hit there, cut, and start. Send it. But this is kind of a workaround. There's actually, the way the machine's built, it's got a frame that runs to the left side of the blade bed, so to speak. So you could technically, using some material, make a jig kit for it relatively easy. But this is just a little quick way of doing it. And you can do this with any laser. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one. It can be a CO2. It could be any other machine. If you had coasters to do, or if you had like a repetitious items that you were going to be doing, this is very simple, like painter's tape and some scrap wood. I mean, that's all you need. So once this gets through cutting, I'll show you the next step. That last 99% needs to be adjusted. It takes a minute. Like I said, so far my complaints about the machine, so far my complaints are only software related. All right, so it's complete. Refresh the camera, and voila. All right, so now I got that. Now, I did message them and ask them to please add a tool line function to this thing, because currently I don't think it has one. So what I've been doing is basically just going here. XCS uses a ignore function, and I don't know that this has that function. So if I wanted to burn myself a coaster, then what I would do from here is go in and wrong button, upload the snowflake, put it in here, and then you gotta click that one, hold shift, click that one, and then you can use the align button up here, horizontal and vertical. So now I should be able to burn that coaster, and have it be in the middle. And I'm gonna run this one. A field engrave, but I'm gonna crank the speed up. Need my stick. Hey, I do have a walking stick. I do have a walking stick that I made for my daughter a few years ago. Bad thing is she asked me if I needed to borrow it and use it. Uh, yeah, Valley. If They claim it works with Lightburn. I have not had any success at that. I'm assuming there's a config file that I haven't gotten. But if it worked with Lightburn and the camera would work to where you could actually adjust the camera in Lightburn, I think that would be a big plus. So I'm just, like I said, it is still early in the development of this machine. I look for there to be several versions of the software before they actually go to publicly release the machine. Hardware wise, like I said, I haven't got any complaints hardware. I haven't had any problems with the hardware. Every little niche or glitch I've had has been related to the software. And I know a lot of you guys, when the P1 came out, that was a lot of the fuss, was that the machine was doing a really good job for X-Tool, but the software was a problem. And I think it's going to take a little while for them to work all the bugs out of the software. But yeah, I would be curious to see how well it would work with Lightburn. It does take a minute with these burns, but I wanted to engrave this one since we did a line last time. But it's not bad. Like I said, you get the machine. The way the Z-axis works is awesome. Uh, the speed that the module moves, I think, is comparable to any of the other machines on the market right now. 20-watt output. I mean, that's a good all-round power output for most things that you're going to be doing. So no, you download it and install it. It's basically the same as XCS. Uh, somebody's messaging me, guys. Getting pop-ups here, but it's basically the same as XCS as far as the software and the way it works. But it does work on your machine. You don't have to be online. That I'm aware of. I do have internet on my computer, but I don't have to. I don't have to be logged in. I don't believe. And if I killed my internet, it would kill my connection with you guys right now. But I'm not logged in on anything on my other machine, and I can still use the computer on it, on the software on it. I mean, but they sent me a link to download the software, and then when they updated it, they sent me another link and said, "Hey, we've released another version," and so I don't think that you can just go download the software publicly right now. I think that's coming. Maybe before they release the machine, they'll actually have the software to where you can get in there and play around with it, look at it before you make a decision. But like I said, I'm not completely sold on it yet with the software. But if they throw Lightburn capability in there to where I can do more, I think that would be very, very good idea of them before they roll this thing out to try everything possible to make it compatible with Lightburn. I will say the ventilation, they did a pretty good job of the ventilation because that's cork in there, and you guys know cork smells. And so far, I can just kind of a hint of it, but I don't have a really good setup going. If you look, I've got it piped through my chip collection from my saws. It's just blowing out the wall over there. So, not the best setup around. And I went a little hot. I went a little hot on the cork. So it's gonna be a little toasty. So questions. What's up, Sharon? It wasn't really something I had planned. I was just out here working, cleaning the shop up, doing some organizing, and trying to take my mind off of my back, and figured I'd come out here and play with the machine and just kind of bring you guys along in case you had any questions or comments, concerns about the machine. But yeah, Steve got jokes with the cane thing. Uh-oh. Sounds like he's done over there. Oh, that's the downside to setting that tool line, guys. It's actually trying to cut that tool line at like 0% power. So they need to add a tool line to the software. But I had to cancel it because it was actually trying to burn that 0% power, 1 millimeter second burn. It was actually trying to do that. So they need to have an ignorer or a tool. I mean, I would just like to see just one more tab right here with tool line. That's what I would like to see. But let me update the overlay there where you can see it. Like I said, it's toasty, but it did what I wanted. Let me go blow this off with some compressed air. A little much. So it turned out okay. Way too hot for cork. I went way too hot. I should have went a lot faster. But it turned out okay. And it smells. How do you run multiple machines? On this software, I don't know that you can, but it's pretty simple if you're using Lightburn. If that's what you're asking, you just hit. Hang on, I'll show you. All right, with Lightburn, you basically just tell it to connect to a different machine. And when you open Lightburn, I've already got it open. If you got Lightburn open, just go over here and hit File, New Window, and it'll open another window. So, like I can have this one connected to the HRV35, and then I can go over here and connect this one over to the Algo. And now I've got two different softwares working two different machines. Now I have to get rid of my windows to do it that way, but yeah, you can even go File, New Window, and you can open as many of these as your computer can handle. Now at some point, depending on your computer, you may have to change it. If I wanted to add, let's see, we can put the MUN port on here. So you just keep opening windows, and some days I'll have as many as 4 instances. Sometimes I'll have the MUN port going, I'll have a fiber going, and I'll have 2 diodes going on this computer. So you just keep opening them and just keep adding windows. That's all you got to do. So, but anyway, that's pretty easy. Let's see here. Let's refresh the window. But this is that piece I cut out of that little jig, basically, that I made a while ago. And this camera does not have the focus capabilities. But you can see it's kind of that mahogany brown color. It's not real. See? I'm going to wipe it. It's got a little on it, but it's not terrible. The air assist pump that they run is very similar to what you would see on like the X Tools and the Comgrow air compressor kits and stuff. But yeah. Oh. All right, so let me whoa, I gotta let the lid down before I can refresh. All right, I gotta get me some more Christmas decorations. So let me take that. Let me get right down over here. All right. All right, so that is a cut. Then snowflake. looks good. So as long as I've got that lined up right, which it does have these cool little lines that shows you, you know, when things are lined up. That's pretty cool. But with this odd shape like that, you're more or less going to have to eyeball it unless you throw another design in there, or you make this big enough to go to the edges. And it's got this little auto grab feature that I kind of wish I could turn off. But there we go. And so I'll set this to the fill engrave. Let's run it up to 140 so it doesn't get too dark. Bidirectional scanning. And then I'll move that over there. So there we go. Making a Christmas ornament on this one, guys. See how it does. Make fun of my stick, Steve. It works. Yeah, Jack, the camera's on the lid. So when you raise the lid, if you update the overlay, it'll take a picture of the back of my head. So has anybody watched Steve's video yet? Should we have a watch party? They claim, let me pull it up here. They claim, don't quote me, I think they claim 600 millimeters a second, but I will tell you that this 20-watt module is not capable of doing any damage to any materials at that speed. It does decent up to, but here's what they say. And this is where the machine really does good on tumblers. I will give them that. They done a really good job with the tumblers. But they're claiming 600 millimeters a second right here, and it will move 600 millimeters a second. But at that speed, you're not doing a whole lot with it. But this is their website. You can search for the WeCreat vision and you can find their page. It's up now because they're doing their pre-order stuff, and like I said, their settings and stuff are pretty decent. They've got some, they claim that it'll cut up to 10 millimeters thick. I haven't tried that, but I've watched some other videos of other folks and they did try some thicker material and it does a pretty good job, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't cut 10 millimeter thick material. But I don't know that this machine is necessarily going to be for somebody that wants to be cutting, 2x4s. But this is their rotary pack, and that's what I think. That's what makes it a good deal, in my opinion, is the price, and you get the rotary, you get the machine, the air assist, and everything. So I think that's cool. They also have an optional air purifier, if that's something that you're into. I'd asked them to send me one of those out where I could take it with the machine, but that didn't work. That didn't happen. So, but they have it as well. I don't know that they've got it on the page yet. Yeah, I don't see it nowhere. Software. This is, I'm guessing this is where their software is now. It says it does work with Mac, Android, iOS, the whole 9 yards. Like I said, I definitely see potential with the machine. The camera is not as accurate as they would like for it to be, I don't think. It does this weird thing too with colors. Apparently it'll pick colors out when you work. Like I said, the batch engraving, it does do that, but I'm having some problems sending images now. I did do it with circles and squares and it worked. But yeah, that's I think there's some work to do on the software still. And I haven't figured out what this splice interface thickness is, unless that's it's showing 4.5. So I don't know if that's the thickness of the material. I don't know what this number is. Splice interface thickness does not mean anything to me, so I don't know what that means. But it's pretty quiet. Y'all can hear it. I'm on my Elgato desk mic, and it's like right behind me, within a reach of a stick. So it's pretty quiet. I'd love to show y'all around the shop, man. I got it clean in here. I actually vacuumed today. I haven't seen a pass through yet, but I will tell you that the bottom, it's it's solid. So I don't know. It does have a crumb tray that pulls out. So technically, could you put a pass through under it? Maybe. As far as you can take the crumb tray out and actually see the table below the crumb tray. I don't know that it would go down low enough to be able to, space it up and use it like a pass through. I haven't tried that. That might be something I need to try. But it does have a crumb tray, and I'll show you that in just a second. But yeah, it needs I need to make me. I need to 3D print me a little solenoid that I can just have a button, and I can push the button over here, and it'll push that button for me. I mean, if they put it in the software to disable that button, and you had like 3 or 4 warnings before you disabled it, I think that would cover them liability wise. They could keep the whole pause if you open the door thing going, but that's just me. I do have another machine too that is going to be in here in the shop. Actually, it's already here, but I can't show it to you. I've got another machine in the shop too that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in. It's covered up in a green screen over there. And hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to show you guys what that is and talk about it and play with it. But it's some of the next line of machines that you're going to start seeing. I think the box design machines, the desktop designs, I think those are fixing to start getting a lot more common with some of your different manufacturers. But I still like my open frames where I can build my enclosures. I just like tweaking. I like being able to mess with them and raise them up and raise them down. But some of the new features and some of the software and the way they do things is pretty innovative. What's up, Aaron? How's it going, sir? How are you? But it looks like it's about through. But this last 99%, they've got to adjust that too. And I know people complain about that with Lightburn and any other laser software. But it gets to 99%, it just kind of hangs there for a while. See? Yeah. Now, it is very close to being done, it sounds like. It is actually doing the cut as we speak, so there it is doing the cut. So it'll be done here in just a second, but yeah, the 99% gets a little ahead of itself with the whole, calculations. But it's coming around the pass there. Once it and you can see the smoke inside the box, and like I said, that little fan in the back does a really good job. They left some inlets in the back of the machine as well, so it has good flow through there, so it doesn't just hold it in. And then after it gets through, like I said, it'll raise up, gets that laser head well up out of the way, and then it's going to go back over to the home location. And you get your audible letting you know that it's done, and you hit complete. I'm going to refresh. I like to keep refreshing just to show you what the camera does. Like I said, the camera was really close on that. So, I mean, it's not a bad camera, guys, but it's not going to be 100%. So if you get it and you're like, oh, the camera's 1.5 millimeters off, don't blame me. Okay? I told you, it's not exact. All right, so it did a really good job. Everything's cut out. I got a little burn. I went a little hot, but never fear. Hang on. So go to air hose. All right, so there you go. And it's nice and black. I'll give it that. It is nice and black. The lighting is terrible when you get close to that camera. But there's a Christmas ornament. I could have probably went twice as fast. It nearly cut through the first layer of this plywood. So if I wanted to redo that, and yeah, I could probably run, let's say, I can go do 220. I think it will. So what I'm gonna do now is just move this guy over to here. We'll just make a few of these. So I got it set now to 220 at 100% power. So we'll start that. I keep forgetting y'all got to see the screen, guys. So I did the same design, just set it at 220 speed, 100% power. It's so showing 4 minutes and 59 seconds to make this ornament. So let's see how that works out. Somebody start a stopwatch. Give me a stick. There we go. But a rechargeable toothbrush? Okay. I just hit it with some 120 grit. A little 120 grit sandpaper and 110 psi, I think, on my little spray nozzle, and it gets all that junk out of there. So, but this was just a test coaster, so that's we can throw that away. It smells. Sitting here under my nose, but like I said, it does a good job. And if all you're going to be doing, guys, if you're going to be cutting and engraving at the same time, the accuracy of the camera does not matter as long as you can center everything and position everything in the software, and you can with the tools that they provide. So that's something that I guess it's going to depend on what you're planning on doing with the machine, whether you plan on using jigs, whether you're going to be doing a lot of like current position type stuff. Because this machine, not that I have found, it doesn't really allow you to put it current position. It does have a red pointer laser on the machine. So with the right software adjustments, I would think they could make it to where you could go laser flat, laser cylindrical, or laser flat current position, laser, you know what I mean? I think that wouldn't be a hard fit. And then you could just mark the center of your project, make sure it's square, move that little red pointer laser over the top of it, and hit go, just like you do with some of the other machines. So I feel like that's coming. I feel like the more that they get input on the software, I feel like they're going to fix it to do a few things a little better. But let's see how it's doing. Let's see how fast it's moving at 250 millimeters a second. So there you go, 250 millimeters a second. And I will tell you, this is pretty cool for you safety conscious folks. Watch what happens when I open the lid. Alright, so it stops the machine, but it doesn't stop it. It pauses it. So now all I got to do is hit that pesky button again. And it picks up right where it left off. So that's pretty cool for a safety feature. I think that's neat. But I was a little concerned the first time I raised the lid. But as soon as I saw it finish, I raised the lid and it hung the machine up, and I'm like, what in the world's going on? But then I realized that when you raise the lid, instead of like an emergency stop or whatever, it actually pauses the engrave. So if you open the lid prematurely, you just have to shut the lid and hit the button, and it'll actually say boom, completed, engrave, and then you can move on. But if you don't, it just kind of hangs it up in pause mode. And the first couple of times I did that, I was opening the machine before the audible on the computer, and had a little problem with that. So questions? It's decent. Like I said, it's not as big as what I would need for some stuff, but I could see this. Like I said, especially if somebody getting into it that doesn't want to, have to engineer a bunch of stuff together, run duct work and run air hoses and all that. It's pretty clean. And 20 watts of power with air assist, it does a pretty decent job. Uh, can't complain on that. My air hose is over there hissing. I need to change that end out. Let me go fix that. It's getting done a lot faster this time. So there you go. And the hose that it comes with, that hose is actually pretty neat. It's a really thick material. It's not that foil. It's more of a plastic or nylon or something like that, and it works pretty well. So, and I've got it piped through my exhaust for my chip extraction over here on all the saws and stuff. So it's doing a pretty good job. Sup, Super Duty? How are you, fella? You hanging in there? Just out here playing a little bit. I'm gonna go take a break here in a second. Get ready for tonight's live. But I was just out here messing with this machine. Just thought I'd spring up a live. Hadn't been able to see you guys much this weekend. This back's been giving me fits. I've got a doctor's appointment Monday to find out what's in my future. I had a shot last Monday. They attempted another block, and it really didn't. It hadn't. I can't even tell I got it done. So I think we're gonna have to escalate this up. So I may be out of commission for a couple of weeks. I'm hoping that they're not gonna tell me I gotta lay in the bed because I don't do well with that. Hopefully they'll just tell me to take it easy and sit in a comfortable chair because I ordered me a comfortable chair for out here so that I can sit out here instead of having to sit in the house. I've been just doing. I bet I printed 100 test cubes yesterday on the 3D printer trying to adjust settings and get the perfect test cube. Gary, all of them will make some color, but that whole being able to put a color on a piece of metal with a laser is inconsistent as at best unless you get a MOPA laser. Even the 20-watt fiber that I have, I can make color, but it is not consistent. You can't pick out a setting and say I want green and get green every time. You may get green one time out of 10, but you'll get some color. But so this got finished. It's raising back up. Like I said, it's going to raise up and then it'll go back over in the home position. And then you get the audible and you hit the complete button. So check the camera again. Like I said, I like to keep checking on this camera just to see how accurate it gets. And there's how accurate the camera in the grave versus the actual cut is. So not terrible. 250 millimeters a second. I still got a little scorching because it does not have. It's got air assist, but it runs it all the time, so you're going to get a little scorching unless you physically. I guess you could physically turn the air assist pump off, but you can go in here. I thought there was a See, there's a button in here that says air assist switch. And you can turn the air assist off here. We'll run one more with the air assist off just to see what it does with the air assist turned off. It may not do as good on the cutting, but we'll see. You would think you would be able to turn it on by the layer, but apparently that is not the case. So let me copy this over one more time. We'll put it right there. See, I have nowhere. There's nowhere here that says air assist off or air assist on any of these. You have enhanced cutting, which I'm not sure what that is, but in order to turn the air assist off, you have to go into settings here and I'm guessing that'll turn it off. We'll find out in just a second. So let me send this back out. Let me close the machine first. Yule, I don't know what that is. So, no, I haven't tried it. I didn't have back problems until recently. Okay, it's gonna say it says this one. Hang on, let me crank this speed up, guys. Let's go 300 millimeters a second. All right, see how long that's gonna take. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. So here we go. And walking over to push button. So I hit this one with a little sandpaper. Let me go blow it off right quick. All right, so that was what was that? 250, 250 millimeters a second, and I still got a nice brown burn. Looks nice. So the one thing that I will say is, guys, this thing, it does a really good job of engraving. This is the two that we've done so far. This one, of course, is a lot darker, but now it almost cut through the whole first layer of the plywood as well. So, and it is moving. I can hear it over there now. Look at that. It's getting down. It is getting down, guys. Let me make this bigger. There you go. But there's the, like I said, that's what I run at 300 millimeters a second, I think it was. And you can see that it is more than capable of. Oh, okay. I'm guessing maybe this Chinese is this Chinese writing? Is this comment from WeCreat themselves? The actually is used for cutting. There's not much difference. So the air assist does not come on when it's engraving? It's not on now. Let me go verify that. Okay, the air assist is not currently on. So, guys, I think we might actually have somebody from WeCreat in here. But the air assist is not currently on. And then we'll test this theory again. I'll go over and physically touch it to see if it's on the next one. Rhonda, I don't know. That would be on their website. I think I saw that on their website a minute ago. There's some information on there on that. It was in October, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, let's go back to software. It's about to finish here. So the speed of this thing, it does a really good job. I would compare the speeds of the gantry to most of your like CO2 machines as far as the way it's built and the way that it works. It does a really good job of moving. So I gotta take my ice pack out. But well, Rhonda, like I said, you see what the machine does as far as what I can do with it, what I can tell you, and I think it does a pretty decent job. Is it going over it twice? module just makes it look like it's going over it twice. It's that black piece in the middle. You can't tell where the front of the module is, but it's almost complete with the engrave. All right, so it's wrapping up, guys. And it's gonna have to do the cut, and then it should return. But the air assist is not currently running, so I have to verify that. See, I thought the other day when I checked it, I thought the air assist ran the whole time, but like I said, this is 4.5 millimeter material, 4.5 millimeter Luan, and it is cutting through it at, I've got it set right now at 6 millimeters a second. It'll actually go on up to about 8 for this material, but just to keep from having hangs, I just go ahead and run it at 6, just to be sure. Excuse me stretching my leg out, guys. That's sciatic nerves talking to me. Coming around the bend and going back to the screen here where you can see what we got going on. I'll let you see the lift first. And that is just cool to me. And one of the ways I see that this would be handy is, like I said, with leather. If you cut a lot of leather, any phone quality stuff? What do you mean by phone quality? Hang on, let me go get that out of there. All right, guys, so with the air assist off, you can see the yellowing around the cut that I didn't have earlier. The engrave looks really nice, but with the air assist off, it did cause some yellowing. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to turn the air assist back on and just do a small cut. I'm going to do a cut with an engrave in the center, what's left of this material, just to test that and see if the air assist pump runs. So I'm just going to do a small rectangle right here, set that to a cut 100%, and then I just put a circle in the middle. Whoa. I always want to select that one. Put a circle in the middle of it, and we'll set that to fill engrave at 100% power, 300 speed, and then on that one, line. We need a centering button added right there too, unless I've overlooked it. Yeah, add center. We'll do that one. But so we'll set that up. I've got the air assist turned to on. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run this, and I'll go actually physically feel. I'm going to go feel of the air assist pump while it's doing this and see if it's differentiating between a cut and an engrave. So here we go. Let me go over here and push that button. All right, so the air assist pump is active right now. I'm assuming it's going to start in the middle and work its way out. So, yes. So the air assist pump is currently active with the engrave. So, whoever that was, if you're with WeCreat, if you guys could add us either fix it to where you have the option to disable air assist, add that to the layer or to the cut, that would be awesome, because it is actually I thought the air assist was on when I checked it the other day, but the air assist is running currently. But yeah, I've got a couple of pictures that I did in the video the other day. Let me see if I can find them. All right, so here's some of the stuff I did if you just getting in here. This is black anodized cards that I did. It does a really good job of the anodized cards, guys. A little better job than some of the other machines that I've used. Usually you'll be able to make out the lines a little better in the metal itself right there. It didn't do that with this. Uh, I did make me a little transformer. I was going to put this on the front of the machine because it's kind of like a transformer. This is an image that I did. This is using their AI software, and I just told it to find me a picture of a line, and that's what I got. And I basically used one filter, did the image, and it turned out that way. This was my little attempt at an alien and using the AI software, but if you'll notice, it's got like some three-dimensional aspects to it. Like it burned really well. So this is some of the photo stuff that I've done. I haven't used any like photos off of a device or photos that I've taken, but these are the AI generated photos. So, but yeah, the air assist does stay on during the engrave also. See, that's what happens. I opened the lid too early, guys, and it paused on me, so I had to hit the button again. So, so but that's what I did just now, and that's with the air assist on, and it didn't get a whole lot of smoke. I got a little bit around the edges, but like I said, that's an easy adjustment. You can either turn the air assist off completely, or maybe in a future update in the software, they'll add the ability to turn the air assist off for engraving or turn it on. I would probably make make the air assist default to be off, but then you have the option to turn it on if you need it. But that's what I did just now. Like I said, it's cutting pretty clean. The air assist does a decent job of cleaning the debris out. Y'all want to try canvas, guys? I got a few more minutes. I can stay out here. Anybody want to see a photo canvas? Let's try it. All right, so this is a cheap canvas. I bought like a pack of these things at Walmart. So I'm gonna do a small image. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I gotta figure out what my power settings are first. Then we're gonna have to do the canvas image. So give me just a second. Let me get this set in there. All right, back to the software. All right, so this is going to be a canvas engrave, guys. Let me reference my materials over here to see what I did on a canvas with a 20-watt machine last. Uh, da, 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 da. Judging by the output of this machine, let's see. We're gonna need a power test, guys. Yeah, I'll make it. I'm gonna go ice my back down in a minute. Let's see here. All right, so to start with, we're going to need to know what our power setting is going to be, guys. So we're going to take, and I'm going to make these small. I'm going to do 4 by 4 squares. Hopefully that took. Yeah, 4 by 4 squares. I'm going to do array, material test array. I'm going to do power and speed. Now, I can tell you that it's not going to take a whole lot of It's not going to take a whole lot of power to engrave these canvases. Too much power is going to burn them. So what I want to do is I'm going to set my max speed to 500, minimum speed to 200. Maximum power, we'll go with, we'll do 50 to 100. And I'm going to add a couple squares. Confirm that. All right, so that's going to be our power. The font doesn't resize real well on these squares when you make them small like this, but so what I'm going to do here is take and ungroup this. And then I'm just going to go in here and hold shift and select these fonts. Where's my font size? I thought it's not showing up. There's my font size. So I'm going to change these down to 8 font. I could actually get rid of those. Let me take those out, make this quicker. That's really all I need, is that right there. I would like for these to be smaller. All right, we're just gonna rock it. So that's gonna be set to fill engrave. Well, crap. I don't think I set it to start with. That's another thing that I have a problem with this software sometime is I click it and then it automatically defaults there. So I need to go here and I'm gonna go ahead and turn unidirectional. I'm gonna put, well, we'll just leave that alone. That's not gonna matter. Array, material, it should stay where I had it set. That's one thing I do like about that. Then I'm gonna ungroup it so I can get rid of this text. And I can probably be able to read that, so we'll just go from there. All right, so I'm gonna run start here. 5 minutes. We go touch the button. I do have a spray bottle on hand. This is canvas. This stuff can catch fire. This is the cardboard back canvas. It's not as bad to burn a hole in it. And I think I got my settings up high enough that it shouldn't start a fire, but we're gonna have water on hand just in case. We may get to check the flame detection. I'll let you guys watch this. This is pretty fast. And guys, the air assist is running. When I went over there just now, you can hear the air assist running. So if you, like I said, right now, you're gonna have to turn it off and on in the settings. So, but hopefully they'll address that. Like I said, they've been really, really good about giving me feedback to the emails I've sent them and everything. So I think that's something that would be easy enough to address maybe. I'm gonna let that run for a minute. Walk around, stretch my legs. Okay, we're gonna put my tea. Few tweaks. Yeah. All right, Valley. See you, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out. I wanna see what I do with canvas because it does really good on images. So I wanna, I wanna see what I can do if I process an image, and you guys will be getting a front row seat to the process because I've never done one on this machine. It's taking the color pretty well. Questions, comments, concerns? Anybody want to make fun of Steve while we're just sitting here not doing nothing? I've got about 2 more hours before I got to go med up again. So, guys, if you want something to do on the break, Steve said he put his video out a while ago on decorative gift boxes. That it kind of goes along with the whole season thing. Looks like a few of you have already watched it. So, 11-minute video in between. I'll walk away for 30 minutes and come back into the. Yeah, hey, turn your back, man. I'll get you. I knew you weren't looking. Gary, as far as the support from the company, I can't say from a consumer perspective because, like I said, I'm kind of working with them as far as like testing the machine out and everything. But they've been really open, more open than some of the companies I've had to deal with. As far as like when I would send them a question or whatever, they would get back to me, and they've answered questions that I've had about certain aspects of the machine pretty promptly. So it's not a bad experience from what I've had, but like I said, I can't say that just because they're that way with me, they'd be that way with you. But you know, time will tell on those kind of things. Oh, time will tell on those kind of things. I don't think that's anything that anybody will know you know until it happens. So I'm checking my email right quick, see if anybody sent me anything. I've got to go check those here in a few minutes. My chair's supposed to be here, guys. That's what I'm looking for tomorrow. So hopefully my chair will be here tomorrow. I got a new shop chair coming. It's not the one that Steve wants me to get, the $600 one, but it's a better chair than what I got. You gonna drop my steak off here in a little bit there, Steve? Well, it's getting there. Let's see what it's doing. That's fast. Let me go see what it looks like. So the 500 on the camera, looking at the material, yeah, you can see the 500 is up top. The 500 is visible on this canvas, so that's pretty impressive so far. But it's definitely moving quick, and it's marking all the way up to the 500 at 50% output. So we just got to figure out what color I want to use for the darks on the picture. Yeah, Gary, I don't know. Like I said, I can't speak to the support on that part of it. I haven't any problems with it so far. The software, like I said, there's some improvements that need to be made, I think, but I haven't had any issues that I had to call them about. I have emailed them back and forth about some things, questions about the software and all that, and they've been responsive so far to that. So, I mean, I'd be afraid to say for sure, guys. Oh, where'd Al Carl get off to? He just fell over. There we go. He's back. Now this is an unpainted, straight out of the pack canvas. So if you do canvases, you know that a lot of times you can actually get a little bit better results if you paint them with a top coat first, like black or uh, whatever, and then engrave on top of that. Sometimes you can get a little bit better results, but I like to see what I can do with just canvas and a laser. No, no paint, no nothing. You can do some pretty detailed stuff sometimes that way. Just doing the text now. Yep, just doing the text. I think the text is a little hot. It may be actually cutting it. We'll see in a second. Let me show you. So, yeah, Steve, you want me to wait for you to bring me my steak? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm probably going to go in there and get something to eat before we do our live in a little bit. Lay down, put an ice pack on my back for a little while. But yeah, Gary, I've had some similar experiences with some companies, but like I said, I don't call the tech support or support people a lot, so I can't really talk to that on a lot of these different companies. It's that WeCreat. All right, guys, it's doing its thing. So let me go over there and see what it looks like. Waiting on the audible. There we go. All right, so I think I'm gonna turn the air assist off. The the burns look a little like out of focus almost, but to be honest, the coloring that is getting is probably from the cardboard behind it. I think. So let me get something and see if I can clean this a little bit. Make sure it doesn't have soot on it. Okay, it was a good call on my part, guys. It had soot, so I took a little Windex, cleaned it, and it looks like to me to do an image. I'm gonna say 300. I'm gonna go with 300 speed, 100% power, and we'll just do a little AI image and do a small one and just see what kind of detail I can get out of a plain, nothing done to it canvas. Uh, and we'll just play and see. So, help me remember 300 millimeters a second. All right, back to the software. All right, so I got my test complete, guys, and I'm gonna get rid of this little test grid here. Refresh. I am going to turn the air assist off because it did mess with the image quality. So, all right. So this software here, I like this pretty cool. This is pretty cool right here. So, because of the nature of the fact that I've got no color that I'm going to be working with, I want something that's going to be high contrast. So I think, let's see, an elephant, uh, wearing a hat. This is actually pretty cool. The elephant would be mostly gray, and I think that would actually look good with the power settings and just the plain canvas. So I think that's what I'm gonna try. Elephant wearing a hat. It lost my hat, guys, but good news is I do have an elephant. So which one's gonna look better? I like the detail on this one, so we'll import that to the canvas. You do have some tools over here. You can edit the image, and you got this background deletion tool here that it's not exactly Photoshop, but it does a pretty decent job. So I'm gonna just use the eraser on this part here. It's not wanting to find it. All right, I'm gonna crop this also because I don't want this thing to take forever. So I'm gonna crop it to right there. Confirm. All right, shrink it down because we don't want to go that far. Put it on the canvas here. They do have these different filtering type things here that will make it look different. So I've been playing around with the Comics 3. It works pretty good. You can see it puts a lot of ridges, a little three-dimensional. I'm afraid that might actually be a little hot for this canvas. And then you got meshing, which does a pretty good job of grayscale. And since this is a canvas and I don't want to set it on fire, I think we'll go with that. I'm going to set this for 100% power, 300 millimeters a second. Turn the LPI up to 300. Put it on bidirectional, and let's see what it says that's going to take. Six minutes. Wow. That's not long. The preview typically does not do it justice, so I'm gonna go with the fact that I've got my settings right, and we're gonna run it like that. 6 minutes, we'll find out. So there it goes. Let me see if it's even marking it over there. Make sure I was right. It's still working. While we're at it, guys, check out my. I brought these out here to put them in. These are my USB holders. I've got a card reader that I lay over here, and this little guy keeps getting lost. So I made me a bracket so that I can take and mount it to the wall. It's a little snug. So now I can mount this guy, and I can just plug it into this and keep it when I'm not using it. And also the other cables for like the CNCs and stuff like that, they're just hanging beside a USB plug over there. So I'm going to put another one of those over there to be able to take those cables and connect them to this to keep them from dangling and also keep trash from getting up in there. But that's the kind of stuff. I've been stuck in the house. I've been making files on 3D printer and printing them. I just had that in my pocket, so I thought I'd share that with you while we wait. Jack, I've played with it. It does a pretty decent job sometimes. And then once you get it engraved, you just spray it with some clear. It is heavily dependent on the image. So, is that file listed? I put it on my brand new Thingiverse page there, Jack. It's on my. I got a brand new Thingiverse. You can go to Clack Shack on the Thingiverse page now, and I put it on there. Okay, yeah, my setting's a little off. It's a little hot. It's a little hot, but it's getting there. I may have to just run this image on some wood. You can see the detail in the image, but it's it's a little hot. I think it's burning holes in the canvas in the middle. Let me grab one of these. That would be something cool to do an image on. Let me grab one. Yeah, guys, that's way too hot. Let me go ahead and cancel that. I'll show you what it looks like. It's way too hot. All right, hit cancel, and it canceled. So, as you can see, it was way too hot. It's burnt through the fabric into the cardboard. The details are there, but it's way too hot. So I'm gonna start this. We'll start this little project over on something different. Oh, I hung it up, stopping it like that. So I gotta get it back going. All right, so I'm gonna put me a card in there, and refresh my page. All right. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm gonna run settings for aluminum card. I did find that their settings are pretty darn accurate, so that should be about it. And this is what's pretty cool too, because they actually show you where in here you're gonna land, and you can click on one of these if you want. We'll do. Let's see. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh. Ew. Trying to future test use AI to make reading grayscale. Yeah, I did that with these right here, as far as the AI 3D engraves. That's what I did. Oh, that one and that one. These come off of that machine on this little thin plywood right here. Now it took quite a while because these are like 4 inches by 4 inches, but it does really good on wood. I wanted to play around with some other mediums. If you hadn't seen my video already on the initial video I did with this machine, I played around with wood for days. So there's plenty of wood stuff. I just wanted to try something a little different today and see how it did on other materials and just kind of give you guys a feel for it. Like I said, I was wanting to get out in the shop and do some stuff, guys, but I didn't have enough stuff to really throw a video together. So I figured I'd just kind of come hang out with you and do it that way. I'm a little afraid I may have turned the LPI up too high to where it cleans the card completely. Well, we'll see. I'm hoping it leaves a faint like picture of the elephant over the gray, over the aluminum or anodized aluminum card. That's what I'm hoping for. I've done it before. We'll see if I can do it with this machine. But it's moving along pretty good. I made it kind of a small image, so not too big. But if you're just joining us, you can go back and watch the rest of it if you want to. But we did make some Christmas ornaments with the machine. Like I said, made those. 3 different power settings. This one is all the way up to 300 millimeters a second, which is really fast. But it done a nice job engraving this material. And I've got some other materials that I plan on trying as well with the machine in the future. But like I said, today I really just kind of wanted to get out of the shop and do something, guys. I've been out of the shop for a week now, and it's been really, really, really messing with me. I was going through withdrawals from being out here. So I had to get back out here and do some stuff. What's up, Victor? I just saw you comment there. I'm gonna put my little USB mount over here while we're waiting on this, guys. There we go. I'll never lose that card reader again. It's bad to fall down over here and get lost. Well, I want another shop, guys, but you know, got to come up with some money. Oh yeah, guys, y'all gonna be impressed with this. Let me get some cleaning supplies out. Rubbing alcohol in a rag. That's your friend when it comes to laser engraving. But I do have to wait for the tone, so can't get it off before the tone goes off. Ooh, my face looks really white right there. All right, waiting on it. And there we go. All right. Yeah. All right. Without cleaning it, this is what I got right now. Couple of drips of rubbing alcohol. Oh, it come off. Yeah, I went a little hot, guys. I got most of it came completely off, but you saw it before I did it. Most of it come completely off on me, so I would have to back that setting down just a little more. You can see where it kind of left some of it, but it's a little on the hot side. But it's kind of weird because y'all were asking about colors. If you lean that just right, you can see there's color where the eyes and the mouth and everything were. But yeah. Oh, that was so close. I thought I had it. I thought I nailed it. One last piece of material. I gotta make this machine where you can see what it looks like. All right. So we're gonna put that same design on a piece of wood. All right. Change my material over to 4.5 millimeter line. Line density. Let's do 200. Start. Yeah, it looked pretty good until I cleaned it. It came right off. But yeah, if I played around with the settings, obviously that was a little hot, or either I had an LPI too high for that, for what I was trying to achieve. Because when you're doing those anodized cards like that, you know, you're trying to remove some of the material and leave some of the material, and it may be because I run the LPI up so high that it just removed it all. But it looked nice until I wiped it with that alcohol. That was terrible. I'm gonna have to recreate that now to redeem myself. But yeah, the white is a reflection of hair, baby, of the hair. Yeah, I don't know. What size is your clack shack? You want to guess? Take a guess. Because I had somebody come over the other day that had never saw the inside of the shop, that only saw it on the computer, and they were like, "It looks it's much bigger on TV." But it's from here to that other wall, from where the camera's sitting to the other wall is 20 foot, and then it's 24 foot long. So it's not huge by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, you're close, Jack. You were close. If you count the porch, I do have a covered porch. So the slab is technically about 20 by 30 because my porch sticks out about 6 foot. That's where I go out there. Like if I'm needing to do something that's really nasty, I don't want it inside the shop. I can go out under the awning and be out of the weather for the most part. That's where I put a lot of my stuff when I'm drying it. I put it underneath the awning out there. Uh, but but yeah, it's you can see the picture right there. That's what the front looks like. But it's 24 by 20 by 24 on the inside, and then I got 6 foot going out the front for the porch. So, and especially when I'm doing like beekeeping stuff, you know, and I got like honey all over everything. I leave it under there for a few days, let the bees clean it up and stuff for. But I'm wanting to build a 30 by 60 when I retire, but we'll have to see how that works out, financially speaking. Hopefully I can get around to it, get it done. Oh, great. My watch says that my activity is extraordinary today, and I haven't done a whole lot. I haven't been able to do a whole lot. I actually done more today than I have in a week. So, that's good. Let's see if it's still burning, guys. This is going to be on wood. I'm hoping I got the settings right. And I did not. I did not. Ah. Oh, I really crunched. I really crispy crittered that guy. I'm I'm having a terrible time with settings, guys. I'm gonna have to just quit. Hey, Steve, there's a 3D burn for you, bro. I 3D'd the crap out of that one. Jesus. Let me start that over. It's ridiculous. That is pure ridiculous. Oh, what did I set the power to? Let me autofocus. Maybe I messed a step somewhere. That was ridiculous. Oh, it's time to go get something to eat. Take a break. Oh, I'm talking about that thing. I bet that went through 80% of the material, guys. Like, that was hot. Ugh. Okay, bitmap engrave. You know what? Well, let's run this puppy up to about 400 millimeters a second. See what happens. Oh, well, let me do 400. 300. How about 300? There we go. All right. We'll put it right there. What have I got this set to? Meshing. All right. I got the LPI on 200, so I'm gonna back that down a little bit. This thing chews through wood. So let's try this again. 2 minutes. That's not bad. Pushing the button. So guys, if anybody ever tells you they don't screw up or they like almost start a fire, they don't do it enough. Because I screw up lots. But that is seriously, that is deep. Like that's down in there. It almost cut completely through it. I don't know what I set the settings to, but I'm guessing that was not the 250 or 300 millimeter a second that I had set, because that's way hot. Well, Jack, 15 by 20 is not that actually gives you a little more room than what I've got. And if you've got a basement to boot, then hey, it sounds like a win to me there. Uh, yeah, I don't want to fire either, Jack. Glee Junkie, that is the WeCreat. I did a video on the, my initial review of it the other day. I just been playing with it, and it's kind of a unique machine. It's not like what I traditionally have in the shop, so I've been goofing around with it and playing with it. I've had a lot of people asking me questions about what it can do and how it compares to some of the other machines, and so I hadn't been out in the shop all week. I've been kind of, housebound due to my limitations with my back and everything, and so I decided to get out here today and try to do a little something, even if I regret it later. Uh, so it is similar to a Glowforge, but it's a diode. It's a 20-watt diode in a box, but it's pretty much everything that you need as far as like air assist, camera, the whole 9 yards is in that box. So I've got a video. Like I said, you can go back and watch the video on it. It gets into a little more detail, but I've just been playing around with it. Cut these ornaments out with it. This is at like 400 millimeters a second engraved. And I've been showing these off, but these are cool. They actually have a little bit of a three-dimensional design to them, as far as it burns into the wood to the point where it gives it a 3D effect. So did that one with it, and did the line with it. So it's really impressing me with the AI images. I haven't done a lot of like my own images and stuff with it yet, but it's neat. It may be. I haven't seen the diode Glowforge, but I mean, it has several of the same attributes as what you would see in a Glowforge. And guys, I'm still too hot. I'm gonna let this burn because this don't look bad, but it's still too hot. This thing, and it won't let me go no faster than 300 millimeters a second. So I'm gonna have to just turn the power down. But it's rocking it out. Still too hot, but I got a 3D effect. So let me change the settings. Let me run it at, I guess, 50. Let me try 50% power. Hot little thing. So let me put this back in there. All right, I'm going to refresh my page there. And that's 50% power at 300 speed, guys. I mean, that's fast. Push the button. Nah, Jack, it ain't even got cold here yet. It's cooler, but it ain't got cold yet. Let's see how fast that thing's moving. Well, while we're waiting on that, because I'm fixing to wrap it up, guys, I got to go inside and remedicate. This is some of the stuff I did the other day, too, in the video. This is a piece of pine, and you can see the engrave looks really, really nice. I did it on both that Comic 3 as well as the mesh setting, and it does really good with engraving. I'm gonna be playing around with it and trying to hone the settings for this 4.5 for doing images. I've been doing stuff like this with it, but this 3mm stuff is what I did these on, and I did these with the recommended settings for 3mm basswood. So I guess that's probably what I should have done with this to see how it turned out. But yeah, all in all though, engraving, it does an exceptional job at engraving, and you know it's as good as any other 20 watt on cutting from what I can tell so far. Yeah, that one's gonna look pretty good considering it's on that new one. So it'll be through in just a second. Then we're gonna wrap it up, guys. So I can go get rested up for the live. So if you're gonna be back out here in a little while, Steve and I will be discussing lasers, CNCs, 3D printing, the weather, Steve steaks. I don't know. We'll be discussing something. So if y'all want to come hang out. But I gotta go remedicate, ice my back for a little while, and maybe grab a bite to eat before we get to that. So hopefully this will be done in a second. Yeah, that looks a lot better. It can still use some tweaking on the settings, but it definitely looks a lot better than what it did when I crispied it a while ago. That was ridiculous. Yeah, me too, Steve. One way or the other, I'm hoping they get me straightened out. Like I said, I got an appointment Monday to go to a specialist, and they're going to let me know what my options are and what treatments I guess I need. So we'll go from there. It's technically not my back that's hurting me, it's my leg, but it's starting in my back. All right, that one turned out all right, but this camera is terrible. I can't get the lighting right. There you go. That's about the best angle I'm gonna get on the lighting, I think. But it does a really good job with engraving, guys. And I said I'll play with the settings and figure out exactly where it needs to land on all of that. But yeah, I was just, like I said, bored out here in the shop. Hadn't seen you guys for a little while. Thought I'd come in here and answer any questions you might have and just kind of hang out with you. But yeah, it says that it'll cut through 10mm material. I haven't tested that. I don't see why it wouldn't do 10mm material, but it's really not set up to be cutting anything, you know, any thicker than that. None of these lasers really are. So yeah, I do need a ring light, but this is a fixed focus camera because that way it's not constantly trying to focus on my hand and messing with you on that. I've got a little light right here, but it's not a ring light. But yeah, my other camera just works a lot better because it'll autofocus. This one is Elgato, and it's a fixed focus. It's supposed to keep me from, you know, getting all out of focus while I'm talking to you guys. But anyway, don't forget, 7 o'clock, me and Steve will be back. I'm going to go get recharged and remedicated and get cleaned up, and we'll be back out here. So I hope, if nothing else, it kept you busy or amused for a little while. And if you have any questions about the machine, like I said, I'm going to be playing with it and testing it and going through more testing with the machine. But I just enjoy playing with it. So see y'all at 7 if you're going to be there. You know, I'll be there, whether y'all or not. So have a good one, guys. Appreciate you.